Here are 3 quarterback buy lows in Dynasty Fantasy Football. First is the Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. He tore his ACL in November with no other structural damage. Due to injuries, Dimes played in just 4 full games on the season. Week 2, he threw for 321 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, rushed for 59 yards, and scored a rushing touchdown as the quarterback 1 for fantasy that week. Otherwise, not so good other games. People forget, but back in 2022, with his first season under head coach Brian Daboll, Jones finished number 10 in fantasy points per game with 18.4. Dimes threw for a career-high 3,205 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, rushed for 708 yards, which is good, and scored 7 rushing touchdowns. So according to Spotrac.com, the Giants are somewhere in the middle when it comes to cap space. The Giants also have the 6th overall pick in this year's NFL draft, which a lot of mocks have them drafting guys like Malik Nabers or Adunze. Jones was given a 4-year, $160 million contract back in March of 2023, and the Giants have verbalized that he is their guy. They are going to continue to build the Giants offense with him at the center. And he's like 26 years old. Kirk Cousins is another quarterback who suffered a big injury in 2023. He tore his Achilles back in Week 8. Weeks 1 through 8, though, if you looked at him and his impact for the position, Cousins ranked 6th in total fantasy points, tied for 1st in passing touchdowns with 18, and 2nd in passing yards with 2,331. The last 4 seasons, Cousins has averaged 19.3, 18, 19.2, and 20 fantasy points per game. 2020 through 2022, Cousins ranged from 4,221 to 4,547 passing yards and 29 to 35 passing touchdowns. Cousins is going to be a free agent in 2024. Will he stay with the Minnesota Vikings or move on? We're not sure. If he stays, obviously, as that core of Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. I think the fact that he's 35 and suffered a big injury will make people not want to hold him in dynasty leagues. And that's where you, if you are a contender, come in and buy low. Last one's a bit of a hot take, but Jameis Winston, he's going to be a free agent at 30 years old, 2024. Winston averaged 16.3 fantasy points per game in 2022, 17.2 in 2021, even though it was 3 and 7 games. But back in the day, Winston averaged 20.5 fantasy points per game, which was number 8 in 2019, and 19.1 fantasy points per game, which was number 11 in 2018. 3 seasons over 4,000 passing yards with a high of 5,109 back in 2019. Seasons of 28 and 33 passing touchdowns. He has a decent resume, and teams like Atlanta, Denver, Las Vegas, New England, Washington, and Tennessee could be in the market for a quarterback in 2024. And although the first thought that people have when teams need a quarterback is go and draft someone, we do see teams just go and grab veterans. Look at what Tampa Bay did with Baker Mayfield, who had a career season, and he went through 2 rounds of the playoffs. So hot take, Jameis Winston could be next year's Baker Mayfield.